The sacred echo. What your birth year's final digit reveals about your soul's journey. The whisper that never left you. Have you ever felt it? That invisible thread weaving through your life, pulling you towards certain people, certain moments, certain crossroads? That quiet knowing that whispers your name in the silence between heartbeats? You've carried this presence since your first breath. A sacred echo that reverberates through every choice, every dream, every tear you've shed in the darkness of becoming. This isn't mere intuition dancing at the edges of your consciousness. This is your soul's signature, etched into the fabric of time itself through the last digit of your birth year. In the ancient halls of Buddhist temples, where incense carries prayers to invisible realms, monks have long understood what modern minds have forgotten. Numbers are not mere symbols. They are living frequencies, cosmic whispers that hold the blueprint of who you came here to be. Your birth year's final digit is a sacred seal, a karmic fingerprint pressed into your essence before you took your first mortal breath. It carries the weight of lifetimes, the echoes of ancient choices, and the promise of what your soul yearns to become. It explains why certain patterns chase you like shadows, why specific souls gravitate toward your light, why some doors open effortlessly while others remain locked, waiting for keys you're still learning to forge. The ancient language of numbers. In the monasteries of Tibet, where wind carries the prayers of centuries, an understanding has been preserved that the Western world has nearly lost. Numbers are not the cold mathematics of commerce and calculation. They are the universe's secret language, vibrational signatures that pulse with the rhythm of creation itself. Each digit from 0 to 9 holds within it a sacred frequency, a cosmic song that resonates with particular aspects of the human experience. These are not arbitrary meanings assigned by mystics seeking mystery where none exists. They are patterns observed across millennia, truths whispered by souls who have walked the path of awakening and returned to share their discoveries. When your soul chose to incarnate at the precise moment that would mark you with your specific digit, it was not chance. It was cosmic choreography, a deliberate selection of the energetic blueprint that would best serve your soul's evolution in this lifetime. Every challenge you've faced, every gift you've discovered, every moment of confusion or clarity can be traced back to this numerical key that unlocks the mystery of your deepest self. The portal opens. Before we journey together through the sacred meanings of each number, there is something you must understand. This knowledge is not meant to cage you within the boundaries of prediction. It is meant to set you free, to illuminate the path you've been walking in darkness, to name the songs your soul has been humming since birth. As you discover your number's meaning, do not stop there. Look to those who share your journey, your beloved, your children, your ancestors, your chosen family. Watch how the digits dance together, how certain combinations create harmony, while others create the friction necessary for growth. You will begin to see the invisible threads that connect all things, the reason why certain souls find each other across time and space. This is not about defining limits. This is about recognizing the infinite within the finite, the eternal dance of consciousness expressing itself through the beautiful constraint of human experience. The sacred 0, the womb of all possibilities. If your birth year ends in 0, you are marked by the eternal cycle itself. 0 is not emptiness, it is pregnant silence, the sacred womb from which all existence emerges and to which all returns. You carry within you the cosmic rhythm of death and rebirth, the eternal dance of creation and dissolution that keeps the universe breathing. Those blessed with the 0 walk a path of perpetual becoming. Your life unfolds in chapters that seem to end with finality, only to birth something entirely new from the ashes of what was. Careers transform overnight, relationships evolve beyond recognition, entire worldviews crumble and rebuild themselves like cities after earthquakes. To others, this may appear as instability, as an inability to commit or settle. They do not understand that you are not broken, you are fluid, flowing with the cosmic current that never allows stagnation. This endless transformation can feel exhausting. Just as you grow comfortable in one skin, another begins to form beneath it. Just as you master one version of yourself, life whispers that it's time to molt again. You may feel like you're always beginning, never arriving, forever learning lessons that seem to shift just as you think you've grasped them. But here lies your profound gift. You possess the rare ability to find peace within chaos, to see opportunity where others see only ending. When the world crumbles around you, you become the eye of the storm, calm, centered, knowing that this too shall pass and transform into something beautiful. Your soul chose the zero because it came to master the art of surrender without defeat, to learn that true strength lies not in resistance, but in the graceful acceptance of change. You are the eternal student of impermanence, and your greatest teachings come not from what you've built, but from what you've allowed to fall away. Trust the cycles. Trust the seasons of your soul. What feels like destruction is actually creation wearing a different mask. The sacred one, the pioneer's flame. If your birth year ends in 1, you carry the spark that lights dark paths. You entered this world as a blazing arrow shot from the bow of destiny, carrying within you the primal fire of initiation. The 1 is the first breath of creation, the moment when potential becomes action, when silence breaks into the first word of a new universe. You are the pioneer, the pathbreaker, the soul who walks into uncharted territory with nothing but inner knowing as your compass. From your earliest memories, you have felt the weight of leadership pressing against your chest like a burning coal. Even as a child, you sensed that waiting for others to show you the way would mean waiting forever. So you learned to trust the voice within, to make decisions when no clear path existed, to become your own guru in a world that offers endless followers but few authentic guides. This inner fire has made you restless, visionary, impatient with the status quo. You see possibilities that others miss, feel urgencies that others cannot understand. When you speak of your dreams, you sometimes see fear flicker in the eyes of those who prefer the safety of well-worn paths. They call you impulsive, reckless, too independent. They do not realize that your independence is not isolation, it is preparation. You are learning to trust yourself so completely that you can eventually trust others. But the pioneer's path is often lonely. Leading means walking without maps, making decisions without guarantees, facing criticism from those who prefer to follow. The weight of always being first to try, first to fail, first to succeed, can become crushing if you carry it alone. Your greatest lesson is learning that true leadership is not solitary conquest, but inspiring others to discover their own inner fire. When you stop trying to prove your strength and start sharing your light, the path becomes less lonely and infinitely more powerful. You did not come to compete, you came to create. Let that creation be a beacon that shows others what is possible when someone dares to trust their inner flame. The sacred 2. The bridge between worlds. If your birth year ends in 2, you are the sacred bridge that connects all separated things. In the beginning, there was 1. Then came 2, and with it the possibility of relationship, of love, of the eternal dance between self and other. You carry within you the cosmic function of healing division, of finding unity within duality, of weaving together what has been torn apart. Your soul entered this world as a living prayer for peace. From childhood, you have been exquisitely sensitive to the emotional currents around you. While others see only surfaces, you perceive the hidden rivers of feeling that flow beneath every interaction. You sense the unspoken sorrows, the masked fears, the love that hides behind anger. This sensitivity is both your gift and your burden. It allows you to heal, but it also exposes you to pain that isn't your own. You have likely found yourself in the role of mediator, counselor, the one who smooths rough edges and translates between different languages of the heart. People are drawn to your presence because it offers something rare in this fractured world. Understanding without judgment, acceptance without condition. You create safe spaces where others can finally exhale and be themselves. But this gift of harmony making can become a trap if you begin to believe that keeping peace means keeping quiet. How many times have you silenced your own needs to avoid disturbing others? How often have you absorbed pain that wasn't yours, becoming an emotional sponge that never gets wrung out? Your desire to heal the world can sometimes eclipse your need to heal yourself. The lesson of the 2 is profound. You cannot give what you do not possess. To truly serve as a bridge between worlds, you must first build a bridge to your own heart. You must learn to offer yourself the same tenderness you give so freely to others. When you honor your own needs with the same reverence you show others, when you speak your truth with the same gentleness you offer to those who confide in you, you become not just a healer, but an example of what healed wholeness looks like. You are not here to disappear into others' needs. You are here to show that love can exist without self-erasure, that peace can be built without sacrifice of self. The Sacred 3, the Cosmic Storyteller. If your birth year ends in 3, you are the universe expressing itself through art, word, and wonder. 3 is the number of creation itself, the Holy Trinity that appears in every sacred tradition, the magic that happens when two become more than their sum. You entered this world as a vessel for creative expression, a channel through which the ineffable becomes tangible. The invisible becomes beautiful. Your very presence brings color to gray spaces, music to silence, laughter to heavy hearts. From your earliest days, you have likely been the light bringer, the one who could transform any gathering with your natural magnetism and gift for expression, whether through words, art, music, or simply your unique way of seeing the world. You have the ability to touch something deep within others, to remind them of beauty they had forgotten existed. But beneath this sparkling exterior often lies a soul that uses brightness to hide its own shadows. You have learned to be the entertainer, the inspirer, the one who lifts others' spirits while privately struggling with the weight of your own intensity. Everything you feel is amplified. Joy becomes ecstasy, sadness becomes despair, hope becomes a blazing fire that threatens to consume you. This intensity drives your creativity, but also your tendency to scatter your energy like seeds on the wind. You start projects with passionate enthusiasm, dive deep into new interests, then find yourself moving on before completion. This isn't lack of discipline, it's the way creative souls process the world, tasting everything to understand the flavors of existence. Your challenge is learning to channel this magnificent creative fire without burning yourself out, to express your depth without drowning in it. When you allow yourself to feel fully without judgment, when you embrace both your light and shadow as necessary parts of your creative palette, your expressions become not just beautiful, but transformative. You are not here merely to entertain. You are here to remind others that life itself is art, that existence can be beautiful even in its broken places, that creativity is not luxury, but necessity for the human soul. The Sacred 4, the Sacred Architect. If your birth year ends in 4, you are the divine builder, laying foundations that will outlast ages. 4 is the number of stability, of the earth beneath our feet, of the 4 directions that orient us in space. You entered this world carrying the cosmic responsibility of creating order from chaos, of building structures strong enough to support not just your own dreams, but the dreams of countless others. You are the foundation upon which entire communities rest. From early in life, you have likely felt the weight of responsibility settling on your shoulders like a mantle you never asked to wear. Others naturally turn to you when everything falls apart because they sense your inherent ability to hold steady when the ground shakes. You are the rock in the storm, the constant in a world of variables, the one who remembers to pay the bills and keep the lights on while others chase dreams. This practical wisdom is your gift to the world, but it can also become your prison. How many times have you stayed in situations that no longer served you, simply because leaving felt irresponsible? How often have you carried burdens that weren't yours because you couldn't bear to see them fall? Your strength has become so expected that others forget you need support too. The deeper truth of the 4 is this. True stability is not rigidity, but adaptability. The strongest buildings don't resist earthquakes, they flex with them. Your challenge is learning that being reliable doesn't mean being unchanging, that creating security doesn't require sacrificing growth. You have the rare gift of persistence, of showing up day after day to build something meaningful. While others start with grand gestures and fade, you understand that real achievement comes from small, consistent actions accumulated over time. You know that the most beautiful cathedrals are built one stone at a time, over generations. But remember, even the master architect needs time to dream, to play, to imagine what might be possible beyond the blueprint. Your foundations are meant to support expansion, not prevent it. You are not just building structures, you are building legacies, creating stable ground where future generations can safely take risks and reach for stars. The Sacred Five, the Eternal Wanderer. If your birth year ends in 5, you carry the wind in your soul and the horizon in your heart. 5 is the number of freedom itself, the pentagram that reaches toward all directions, the human form with arms spread wide to embrace all possibilities. You entered this world as a living embodiment of movement, change, and the endless quest for experience. Your soul cannot be contained because it was never meant to be. You are the wind made flesh, the journey made manifest. From childhood, you have likely felt like a bird trying to fly in a world built for creatures that prefer to nest. Traditional structures, schools, jobs, relationships that demand conformity have felt like beautiful cages that slowly suffocate your spirit. This isn't rebellion for its own sake. It's your soul's innate understanding that growth requires movement, that wisdom comes through direct experience, not theoretical knowledge. You have an insatiable curiosity about life in all its forms. Where others see routine, you see prison. Where others find comfort in repetition, you find stagnation. Your mind is constantly reaching beyond the familiar, seeking new ideas, new places, new ways of being. This makes you endlessly interesting, but sometimes exhausting to those who prefer predictability. The shadow of this freedom-loving nature is the tendency to run from commitment, from difficulty, from anything that requires staying in one place long enough to go deep. You may have a history of starting strong and leaving early, of exciting beginnings that fade when the work gets hard or the novelty wears off. But here's what others don't understand about your nature. Your consistency lies in your commitment to growth, not to static situations. You change because you're alive, because stagnation feels like death to your vibrant spirit. Your restlessness isn't a flaw, it's your soul's GPS, constantly recalibrating to keep you moving toward your highest evolution. The lesson of the 5 is learning to distinguish between running toward something and running away from something. When you move from inspiration rather than escape, when you change from love rather than fear, your freedom becomes not just personal liberation, but a gift to everyone whose life you touch. You're not here to settle. You are here to explore, to expand, to show others that life is meant to be an adventure, not an endurance test. The Sacred 6. The heart that holds the world. If your birth year ends in 6, you carry within you the cosmic frequency of love itself. 6 is the number of the heart, the sacred geometry of care, compassion, and nurturing that holds families together and makes houses into homes. You entered this world as a living prayer for healing, carrying within your very DNA the ability to transform pain into love, wounds into wisdom, strangers into family. Your presence is a sanctuary in human form. From your earliest memories, you have likely felt responsible for others' emotional well-being in ways that children shouldn't have to. You were perhaps the one who comforted crying siblings, mediated parents' arguments, or simply served as the emotional anchor for those around you. This premature wisdom about love and loss has made you incredibly skilled at creating safety for others, but often at the expense of your own sense of security. You see potential where others see problems, hope where others see hopelessness. Broken people, wounded souls, and lost spirits are drawn to you like moths to flame because they sense in you something rare. Unconditional acceptance, love without agenda, a place where they can rest their weary hearts. You naturally create homes, not just physical spaces, but emotional sanctuaries where healing can happen. But this gift of boundless compassion can become a burden when you forget that your heart needs tending too. How many times have you poured yourself out for others until your own well ran dry? How often have you said yes when your soul whispered no, afraid that setting boundaries would make you selfish or uncaring? The profound lesson of the 6 is this. You cannot love others into wholeness, but you can love yourself into it, and that self-love becomes a beacon that shows others the way. When you treat yourself with the same tenderness you offer others, when you speak to yourself with the same kindness you give freely to friends, you model what healthy love actually looks like. You are not here to sacrifice yourself on the altar of others' needs. You are here to demonstrate that love includes the one doing the loving. that care extends to the caregiver, that healing happens best in relationships built on mutual respect rather than one-sided giving. Your love is not meant to be martyrdom, it's meant to be a lighthouse, strong, steady, and self-sustaining, guiding ships safely to shore without burning itself out in the process. The Sacred 7, the Seeker of Hidden Truths. If your birth year ends in 7, you are the mystic, the philosopher, the soul who sees beyond the veil. 7 is the number of the seeker, the sacred digit that appears in every mystical tradition, representing the soul's eternal quest for meaning beyond the material world. You entered this existence as a natural philosopher, carrying within you an insatiable hunger for truth that surface explanations can never satisfy. While others are content with what appears to be, you must understand what actually is. From childhood, you have likely been the one asking questions that made adults uncomfortable. Why are we here? What happens after we die? Why do some people suffer while others seem blessed? Your mind naturally gravitates toward the profound, the mysterious, the hidden patterns that govern existence. This can make you seem strange to those who prefer life's simpler pleasures, but it also makes you uniquely valuable to those seeking deeper understanding. You are most comfortable in solitude, not because you dislike people, but because silence is where you do your most important work. In the quiet spaces between thoughts, you access wisdom that eludes busier minds. You may be drawn to meditation, contemplation, study of ancient texts, or artistic expression that captures ineffable truths. These are not hobbies for you. They are necessities, as vital as food and water for your soul's survival. The challenge of the 7 is the tendency toward isolation and analysis paralysis. Your deep thinking can become circular, your solitude can become loneliness, your quest for understanding can become an excuse to avoid the messiness of human connection. You may find yourself perpetually preparing for life rather than living it, studying love rather than experiencing it, analyzing joy rather than feeling it. But your greatest discoveries will come when you learn to bridge the mystical and the mundane, when you bring your profound insights into practical application. The world desperately needs your ability to see patterns others miss, to find meaning in chaos, to translate universal truths into language that earthbound souls can understand. You are not here to escape the world through spirituality. You are here to transform the world by showing others that the sacred is not separate from the ordinary. It is woven into every moment, waiting to be recognized by those with eyes to see. Your solitude is not isolation, it is incubation. What you discover in those quiet depths is meant to be shared, to light the way for other seekers walking the path behind you. The Sacred 8, the Cosmic Architect of Power. If your birth year ends in 8, you carry within you the infinite loop of manifestation, the ability to transform vision into reality. 8 is the number of infinity turned on its side, the sacred symbol of eternal cycles, of power that flows in perfect balance between the material and spiritual realms. You entered this world as a natural alchemist, someone who can take raw potential and transform it into tangible achievement. You understand intuitively that thoughts become things, that energy follows intention, that the universe responds to those who dare to dream with their eyes wide open. From early in life, you have likely possessed an unusual understanding of how things work, not just mechanically, but energetically. You see systems where others see chaos, recognize patterns where others see randomness. This gives you a natural advantage in the material world, but it also carries tremendous responsibility. With great power comes the obligation to use it wisely. You are probably someone others describe as successful, ambitious, or driven. You don't just dream, you strategize, plan, execute. You understand that manifestation requires both vision and action, both inspiration and perspiration. When you commit to a goal, you become a force of nature, gathering resources and allies with the skill of a master orchestrator. But the 8's relationship with power is complex. You may struggle with the balance between ambition and compassion, between achieving your goals and maintaining your humanity. The material world can become intoxicating, success can become addictive, and power can corrupt if not balanced with wisdom and heart. Your greatest lesson involves learning that true power serves not just the self, but the whole. That real success lifts others along with you. that the highest achievement is creating systems that benefit everyone they touch. When you align your considerable abilities with your deepest values, you become not just successful, but significant. The 8 reminds us that we are both spiritual and material beings, that denying either aspect leads to imbalance. Your role is to demonstrate that prosperity and spirituality are not opposites, but partners in the dance of conscious creation. You are not here to accumulate power for its own sake. You are here to show others that success can have soul, that achievement can have integrity, that it's possible to prosper while lifting others up, rather than climbing over them. The sacred 9. The cosmic completion. If your birth year ends in 9, you're the bridge between what was and what will be, the soul who completes one cycle to birth the next. 9 is the number of completion, wisdom, and universal love. It contains within it all other single digits, since 919, 92 equals 18, which reduces to 9, and so on, making it the culmination of the numerical journey from 1 to 9. You entered this world carrying the energy of an old soul, someone who has walked many paths and learned many lessons, someone who intuitively understands the bigger picture, even when details remain unclear. From childhood, you have likely possessed a wisdom that seemed to come from nowhere, an understanding of life that surpassed your years. You may have been the one others turned to for advice, even when you were still figuring things out yourself. There's something in your presence that suggests depth, experience, a knowing that extends beyond this single lifetime. You naturally think in terms of service to the greater good. Personal ambitions feel hollow unless they contribute to something larger than yourself. You may be drawn to humanitarian causes, healing professions, or any work that alleviates suffering and increases understanding. Your happiness is intimately connected to your sense of purpose, and that purpose always involves making the world better than you found it. But this universal perspective can sometimes make you feel disconnected from your own immediate needs and desires. You may struggle with feeling responsible for problems that aren't yours to solve, carrying the weight of the world's suffering on your shoulders. Your empathy, while beautiful, can become overwhelming if not properly channeled. The 9's greatest challenge is learning to serve without martyrdom, to care without carrying, to love without losing yourself in others' needs. Your wisdom tells you that everything is connected, but your human heart needs to remember that connection doesn't mean absorption. You are the completion of this numerical cycle, but also the preparation for what comes next. In many ways, you serve as a bridge between old ways and new possibilities, helping humanity evolve by embodying the best of what we can become. You are not here to fix everything that's broken. You are here to demonstrate that healing is possible, that wisdom can be lived, that love can transform even the darkest situations when applied with patience and skill. Your greatest gift is not your knowledge, but your ability to inspire others to find their own wisdom, to complete their own cycles, to become their own bridges to a better tomorrow. The sacred recognition. As you have journeyed through these 9 sacred frequencies, you may have recognized yourself in ways that feel both surprising and inevitable. This is the moment when the veil thins, when the patterns that have been guiding your life step out of the shadows and into the light of conscious recognition. Your birth year's final digit is not your destiny carved in stone. It is your soul's chosen instrument for this lifetime's symphony. Like any instrument, it can create discord if played carelessly, or transcendent beauty when handled with awareness and skill. The number you carry is both your gift and your challenge, your strength and your growing edge. It represents not limitations but possibilities, not predictions, but invitations to become who you truly are beneath all the layers of conditioning and expectation. As you step forward from this moment of recognition, carry with you the understanding that you are not alone in this cosmic dance. Every soul you encounter carries their own sacred frequency, their own piece of the infinite puzzle. When you honor your own number's energy while respecting others, you participate in the grand symphony of existence, each playing their part while contributing to a harmony greater than any single note. The whisper that has followed you since birth is calling still. Now that you know its name, you can finally answer with the full power of conscious choice. Your journey continues, but now you walk with the deep knowing of who you truly are and why you came. This is not the end of your story. This is the moment when your real story finally begins.